If you're curious to see what sewing patterns I'm going to be attempting and sewing this month, join me as I share this month in sewing for November 2024. I'm diving into some exciting sewing projects this month, and as always, I've set my bar pretty high for what I want to achieve. It is the lead up to silly season, and we always have such big plans. My big plans are all centered around the kids. I like to try and make where I can to save money and enjoy seeing the joy in their faces when they open my Me Maids. So for this month, let's take a look at what I'm going to be sewing in November. So the first thing that I want to share is actually one that I've already sewn up for the month, so I am ahead, and that is because today is Feature Friday for Love Notions. So Love Notions, the Feature Friday for today is the Legato jeans, which is on sale for $5 today. And I actually did a full wrap-up and review over on their YouTube channel, so I'll make sure I link that in the description below. But this is the first time I've ever made jeans, proper jeans for myself. Really happy with how they turned out. So I did my initials on the pocket. I actually had a follower point out that ML, because my name's Megan Lindley, they said it could also be Fergie's My Lumps. So I thought that was pretty funny as well. But I really enjoyed sewing this up. You can also use code 10SEW, as in SEW, Megan45 for an extra 10% off, which brings it up to, I can't remember what it ends up being, but it's less than $5 then. So it's such a great price. Some of the things I really liked about it was obviously doing the top stitching, the personalization of the pockets. I really love doing the top stitching, so I obviously chose a really hot pink for my top stitching. One of the things you can do if you don't have top stitching thread, because top stitching thread is a little bit thicker, is you can use 2 spools of thread and run them through the one needle so it bulks it up. And then if you don't have 2 spools, you can always wind some off onto a bobbin. So that is a little cheat way to get extra spools of the color you have without having to buy 2 of the same color. So if you're looking to do a little bit more of a top stitching look without having to go and buy top stitching thread or 10 spools of the same color, you can wind some off onto a separate bobbin. So that one was really fun, and make sure you grab it today. The next thing that I want to make this month, or that I will make this month, is actually another project for Baby Lock. So I did just finish up a project on how to make scrunchies. It should be on their YouTube page. I will link it below. But I made a really fun project about how to sew your own scrunchies. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is a tree skirt. So something for your Christmas tree. And that is going to be showcasing all these different techniques on your overlocker or serger, as you may know it, and cover stitch. It's going to be so fun. I'll be using a lot of decorative threads. So we'll be using some glitter threads, as well as some rayon threads and some woolly nylon. We'll be looking at the ladder stitch and the flat lock. It's just going to be a really, really fun project. So I will also make sure that there will be pattern pieces included for that. So you'll be able to download that one from the Baby Lock website. It will be a free pattern for you to use and to really have a go at using some of the more decorative threads on your overlocker and cover stitch, because a lot of people only use their cover stitch for hemming. A lot of people only use their overlocker to, sew clothes, but you can do lots of fun things with it as well. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that one, because that will be a fun project to have ready for your Christmas gifts. One of the other projects that I'm going to be doing is I'm putting together a tutorial for Copper Creek Patterns, which is formerly the Didby Clubs or Do It Better Yourself pattern company. It's now called Copper Creek Patterns, and I'm going to be sewing up their Emmaline dress pattern. So I know that we are going into summer over here in Australia and in the Southern Hemisphere, but you can totally use this for winter with a pair of leggings and some boots. It's got some great options. It's got long sleeve, short sleeve, V-neck, and I'm really looking forward to putting that one together. I really enjoy this style of dress. I think it can be quite flattering for quite a lot of different bodies. So I'm thinking about color blocking this one. So I might just get some of the fabrics that I'm looking at using and you can help me decide. Some of the options that I thought was I could do something like this for the skirt and have either a white top or even like a black or a blue maybe. So I mean, I quite like this. I had earmarked this for Gemma, but I like it, so maybe I'll use it instead. The other thing I thought was even like having this on top. It's a faux linen look. I mean, I could have it on the bottom as well, but I'm not sure I'd have quite enough. So I don't know whether I even look at pairing these together, maybe like this on top and this on the bottom. I quite like this. I thought this is kind of funky and fun. I could have that with, you know, a black on top or even any other colours really, a pink, a purple, and sort of, you know, personalising it that way. And then the other fun one I thought was this, which you could have like a lime green on top or even an orange. Again, it's got quite a number of quite a number of colours in it that you could pair with a solid coloured top. So I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below if you think you can, you know, if you like any of these. A lot of these were from So Unique Fabrics, who I really love a lot of their fabrics. And then some of the other patterns that I was thinking of doing was I had this rib knit, which is from the Tallery, and I saw Yondette do a top called the Bottlebrush Tank. I can't remember who makes it, but I'll link it in the description below. And it used a really small amount of fabric, and I really love this fabric here, so I thought I might try that. Now, very sadly, the Tallery is closing down. It's super sad to see so many of my favourite small fabric businesses just not be able to sustain business right now in the climate. So if you can support them in their last few weeks of trading, I highly, highly recommend going. They have incredible fabric. I placed quite a large pre-order in their last ever pre-order in October because I won't be able to get their fabrics again. So go and check out the Tallery. I'll make sure I link them in the description below as well. Now, one of the other things that I'm going to be sewing this month. So I am a Love Notions ambassador, as I've mentioned. And one of the things that we get to do every year at the end of the year is Secret Sewist. So anyone who wanted to sign up for it within the ambassador pool got to sign up. And what we had to do was submit a video this year about what we like, what we want to sew, something we want to try, what our colours are that we liked. And then we got given our Secret Sewist. So my beautiful Secret Sewist, who I don't know who it is yet, put up a mood board for me. They put together a mood board and it had lots of oranges and greens. They suggested that perhaps I look at something like the Timbre Peasant blouse. So I was thinking I might sew that up in like a blue or a teal, maybe in a linen or even like a rayon maybe. And then they suggested perhaps some Allegro shorts in either a denim or like a deep green. And I was thinking maybe a double gauze. So I'm excited to give that a go. I've got some fabric there ready to go. I just have to sit down and get it all. So, and then we will submit our final pieces to Love Notions, and they're going to put together a little package of all our Secret Sewist. So the Secret Sewist that I got, I was a little bit starstruck because she is an incredible sewist and I see her all around the interwebs. So I was a little bit nervous when I got her, and I hope she enjoyed my suggestions. And I loved the suggestions that I got. So I'll be sharing bits and pieces of that over the month as I sew that together. And then one of the other things that I'm going to be doing is sewing 2 pairs of shorts for my husband. So he constantly is at me that I never make him anything, but it's because he likes boring things. Like he likes plain things. I'm like, go and buy it from the shop. I'm not wasting my time on beautiful fabric for you not to like it. So this time he's asked me if I can make some board shorts, and I had actually planned to make it before we go to Bali, but it just didn't happen. But I got this gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. He actually allowed me to get fun fabric for his board shorts, which surprised me. So I got this board short fabric from the Tallery. Again, make sure you check them out. And I'm going to make a pair of board shorts for him. So I don't have any pattern suggestions. If you could suggest some below, that would be amazing for some PDF patterns. Please let me know. And then the pair of shorts that I'm going to make is actually a Vogue pattern. So it's a paper pattern, which I don't love using paper patterns because they do leave a lot to be desired in terms of your knowledge, which is fine for someone like me who has adequate knowledge of sewing, but it makes my heart sad when people try to sew with paper patterns and get really disheartened because it doesn't explain things properly. But I've been promising my husband these shorts for probably the last 2 or 3 summers, and I don't think he's going to let me get away with the third. So I'm going to be making him these shorts, these kind of chino style shorts. I've got some black drill there to do a test, and then I'm going to get some high quality linen or maybe like a drill or a twill to make him his actual pair, which you can believe that I'll be posting about that because I told him if I'm making them, you better be modeling them. And the reason that I did go for a paper pattern in these is because I've actually found that there aren't a whole lot of PDF patterns in men's clothing, but these kind of really, what would you call it, like classic work slack type style in PDF patterns. There's obviously heaps of indie women's patterns, but I couldn't find a PDF pattern in an indie company that I really liked for men's shorts. And I assume that's just because there's not a lot of men designing and, you know, there's not a lot of male sewists out there, which I think is a real shame. I hope that more male sewists come and join us because we're very fun and it's lots of fun to make your own clothes. So I hope that there's some more. If you have a suggestion for a pattern like this, please let me know because I'm really curious to know. I'm not looking forward to tracing out and cutting out the like tissue paper. I hate doing that, so it's going to be lots of fun. The other sewing patterns that I did have sort of earmarked for this month, there is one that I've wanted to make for my neighbour, like since he was born, so he'll be a year old this year. And I've got this super fun seagull fabric, and I can just imagine him in, I think it's a Peekaboo Patterns Playdate romper. So I really want to make him a Playdate romper with like a really crisp white trimming. Probably not ideal considering that he's 1 and gets food everywhere. But I think it would be super cute. And then with Ted, I can imagine just a matching t-shirt with like a little white pocket, and that's going to be really fun. And then these are some other ones. So I've got this really fun underwater theme stuff. I thought about doing some matching PJs for my kids and our neighbours. Well, they're all very similar ages. So we've got my daughter who's 8, then Ted who's 4, Jade is 3, and Bill he'll be 1. So they're all sort of that similar age. So I thought we could do like matching PJs, which would be super fun for all the kids. And then I've got this really cool farm t-shirt fabric too. So my kids are desperately starting to grow out of clothes and I need to make them some new things. So I hope that I get a chance to just do some fun sewing this month as well. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration for things that you might be able to sew as well. I'd love to know what your sewing plans are, so you can drop them in the comments below. Let me know, let's be accountability partners. I've also just released my new Sewing Fit Made Simple video. If you have trouble getting that gorgeous final fit on your handmade clothes for you or your loved ones, this video is for you. You walk away with my tips on getting your ideal fit in under 9 minutes. So if you'd like to get your hands on this great resource, all the details in the description below, as well as links to all the patterns and other resources I've mentioned and spoken about in this video. Thanks for joining me, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.